Hello. Hello, everyone. Hope you can see me well, and I hope you are well. And my name is Avril. I'm from BDA Scotland. And tonight we will be discussing a very interesting topic, actually. We're going to talk about a Moffat BSL Weekend, where lots of deaf people gather to socialise. The Moffat BSL Weekend. Now, we've picked this topic because it's actually going to be the Moffat BSL Weekend this coming weekend. We're expecting lots of deaf people to gather, and we thought you might like to know what's going to happen there. And this is your opportunity to ask questions of the two people who are going to join me tonight. You can ask everything you need to know about the Moffat BSL Weekend. Where is it? It's in Scotland. And all sorts of other questions like that, and decide whether perhaps you might want to go this weekend. So it's a golden opportunity. If you're at home and you're watching this live stream, you can ask a question, you can post your comment, and we'll pick your question to pose to our guests. And how timely this discussion is. So let me introduce, first of all, our first guest, Paul.
Hello there. Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm well. How are you? I'm loving the t-shirt.
I've got my favorite hobby on this t-shirt. I cycle all over England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Northern Ireland. It's my best. I love that.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to talk about that tonight. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Paul Tipping. I'm from Scotland, across the Glasgow area.
Okay, Paul, I'm going to come back to you with some more questions later, but first I'm going to introduce our second guest for this evening, who's Juli. Hi. Hello, Juli. Hi.
Hey, Juli.
Are you well? Yeah, I am. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming to join us this evening. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us where you're from? Hi, yeah, my name's Juli. This is my sign name, Juli, and I'm from England. Okay, so we've got Juli from England, Paul from Scotland. Great. Oh, and you brought your dog. Oh, cute. Oh, I know you love animals, Juli. So tonight, we're not here to talk about animals. We'll have to set that to one side, take that hat off.
But please, can we talk about motorbikes? Because that's really something I could go on about quite a bit.
We might, Paul, we might. We're all gathered here tonight because we're going to talk about the Moffat BSL Weekend, which is coming round in 3 or 4 days, right?
Absolutely, just Friday coming.
Okay, so before we get into the details, you must both be exhausted from all of the planning and nervous, Paul, yeah. So before we get into the details about Moffat, let's just rewind the clock a little bit and find out about the pair of you and your interest in camping and caravanning. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Paul, let's start with you. What's your background, really?
I've always loved to travel, and I've enjoyed camping, caravanning, motorhomes, just being out and about. And I've traveled all over England, Wales, Scotland. And I used to be a scout. And so I'm used to being very proactive and going into places and doing whatever needs done to survive. And having had that hobby all my life, I wanted to continue.
Fabulous. So you're still into camping and the great outdoors, but also into motorcycles, right?
Absolutely. And I've traveled Europe a lot as well. Some fantastic experience on the bike there, traveling with a crowd of us all together. It's great when you're traveling with others. It gives you a sense of confidence to be with them. And we've a mixed group. Some of them are deaf and some of them aren't. And we've had some really good experiences together.
Well, it gets you outdoors, doesn't it? It gets you seeing lots of interesting things. Juli, let's turn to you. Are you a keen camper or? Oh, I love the outdoors. I like outdoor activities. I grew up caravanning with my parents and my brother. We would go all over. And so I've done that. As I became a parent, I took my kids camping, caravanning, and we would drive all over. So something I've grown up with. I love the outdoors. It's a hobby for me. Okay, so you have similar interests. Um, and do you own your own caravans or motorhomes or anything like that?
I have a motorhome. Actually, I got a new one just there recently.
Ah,
So I'm still
okay.
learning about that. I'm part of a group of caravanners and motorhome owners who get together, and I've learned a lot from them. I used to have a van that I had done up myself, and I kind of, over the years, have got bigger and bigger versions of it. And now I'm in a motorhome, which I'm loving.
I've got a little baby van. It's my baby. It's just a tiny little thing. You open the back, and there's your bed. Um, but I also share in Paul's motorhome, and we travel together quite often. So how new is this motorhome? How long have you had it? A year or?
Oh, no, it's not brand new. I couldn't afford one of those, not at all.
No, but we got it last year in
No,
August,
no, no,
around
no,
about
no.
the summertime in August.
No,
Okay, grand, fair,
it's
fair.
second home.
Okay.
Yeah, second hand.
And does it have kitchen facilities inside and bedrooms and
Ooh,
oh yeah,
yeah.
it's their second home.
Yeah, I've done a lot of hard work on it, getting it tidied up, cleaned up, the bathroom, the shower cleaned, the kitchen cleaned, and
And the
then
cooker, Paul.
I come back to my house and I have to start again, clean all over again.
Paul's a great chef. He's a great chef. He doesn't rest.
Yeah, pretty good yourself. We take our turn, don't we?
And do you take your dog with you in the mobile home? I don't take all of my animals, but I take the two little dogs. I take the two of them. Yeah. Okay, so now we've learned a little bit more about you and your background in camping and caravanning and your interest in the great outdoors. Let's bring that now to the question of the evening, and let's talk about the Moffat BSL weekend. Let's start with where is Moffat? Can you tell our audience where it is?
Right down in the south of Scotland, near the motorway. So you just come up across the border, then you turn, and then it's just there. And off the motorway, very direct, very easy to get to, and there it is, just there. So it doesn't require a lot of navigation to get there.
Very accessible. So like about an hour from Glasgow, something like that, would you say?
I would agree.
Okay, so an hour south of Glasgow. Um, and it seems like information about Moffat BSL Weekend has been popping up everywhere. So, um, why did you pick Moffat as a venue? Can you tell us about that? How did that happen?
Well, having been out on my bike, I've actually stayed in a hotel there. Oh, I think about 15 years ago now. There were a group of Scottish deaf bikers who would get together, and we went down. And when we got to Moffat, we just loved it. The people there are so friendly. We loved our time there. We spent time in the cafes chatting to other people. We just found that the community there were so receptive, so open, so kind. So it really drew us back again. And I've been back 5 times since then. And then Moffat is kind of halfway between where Juli lives and where I live. And so it became a place for us to meet up very easily because it's halfway for both of us to travel.
And it's beautiful. I have to say, it's really small. It's just a little tiny village. Um, but it's so accessible to outdoor activities. You can go kayaking, you can go walking, you can do all sorts of things around there. So it's just a lovely little place, I think. Moffat's a beautiful little village, so we chose that. Okay, so you've been meeting there very often. Who came up with the idea of starting Moffat BSL weekend, though?
Well, I think it was just something I thought we should just give it a go. And I went on Facebook and said, "You're all welcome to come to this weekend."
Well, how did that happen, though? Before you put it out on Facebook, Paul, tell them about the cafe.
Well, I was sitting with some other deaf people talking about what we'd like to do in the future. And I kind of thought we'd do this little thing that we'd invite a few people and they'd come along. As it turned out, we got massive numbers coming. I can't remember why.
You were inundated, weren't you? Yeah, we were sitting in just outside of the cafe, and there were people walking by, and they were all talking to each other. And Paul said to me, "I wonder what they're talking about. Wouldn't it be lovely if everybody walking past in the street, past us now, was using sign language, and we could see what they were talking about?" And I suppose that's where the idea came from that statement that Paul made, and we were kind of like, "Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? So let's do it. Let's do it." So maybe Friday to Monday. And I said, okay, let's set something up in the town hall. And yeah, Paul took it from there.
The reason that we picked the town hall was that I had my motorbike group and they wanted to stay away from us lot.
Okay, so you were just chatting and this idea sort of popped itself up. And last year was the first time. So this year is the second one, right? So tell us about last year. Moffat BSL Weekend. Was it called that last year or something different? Well, last year, Paul had planned this weekend just for getting out and about, maybe going on a tour, doing some activities. And I took over the town hall. And we had it was called Deaf Weekend Moffat last year. Deaf Weekend Moffat. And then we thought, actually, that was a bit negative because, you know, all over the UK, you know, hearing pubs never say it's a hearing weekend, do they? So we were like, okay, let's not do that. You know, all of these deaf people were there with their partners. Some of them were hearing, some of them had deaf children, hearing children as well. So we thought, okay, it's not about being deaf or hearing. Maybe we should make it Moffat BSL Weekend. So that actually what it's about is bringing everyone together, deaf or hearing, you know, parents, children, families, coders, you know, the whole family would be welcome if they were using BSL, if they were using sign. Okay, all right. So the idea came, and you've changed the name this year to Moffat BSL Weekend. Okay, so last year when people gathered, how many people do you think turned up, roughly?
We kind of thought we'd be doing well to get maybe 30. As it turned out, we had
50 or 30, we said, didn't we?
We couldn't believe how many turned up.
Oh, it was over 150. I mean, really, we just many more than we were expecting.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so you got this great big gathering then. And this year, what are you thinking? Is that going to double or? I don't know.
To be honest, we're a bit nervous about it because it feels as if the word's really got out. The hotels are booked out, motorhomes, the Green Frog, caravans, all sorts of things seem to be full already. The accommodation is full, the sites are full, and we're thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen when everybody turns up? So we're sort of looking forward to it and slightly nervous.
That's one thing I'm concerned about is about the town hall, having space enough in the hall, because that's the thing that I'm organising, but we'll see.
The regulations, yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you about that a little bit later on. So for our audience watching tonight, what should they expect if they headed along to Moffat BSL Weekend? Maybe we should show some photographs of last year and then we'll chat afterwards. Okay, so that logo, where did the idea for the logo come from? Oh, we just did something creative. I just drew that. Okay, and there's a statue of a ram there. Can you tell us about that? What's the significance of that?
Well,
you'd need to ask Fiona. She's the history expert. She'd tell you about the ram and its significance. Come along this weekend and find out. Okay, but can you tell us a little briefly a little bit about that? Is it related to Moffat? Honestly, you're best turning up. Come along to Moffat Weekend and we'll tell you all about it.
No, we're not going to give it away now. Come, and when you're there, you'll find out all about it.
So that statue of the ram is actually in Moffat, is it? Is it near the town hall?
Yes, it is.
Yes, just opposite the town hall. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just beside the town hall. Yeah, just across.
Lovely. Okay, so let's have a look at some more photos, shall we?
Oh, do you know, it brings back so many memories.
Having such a good time.
It was
Yeah, they were.
fun.
Such a
it's fantastic memories.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about what everyone's doing there. What's going on in those photos? Well, I'd organised the town hall side of things, and the idea was that we thought it was important because there was such a mixture of deaf and hearing people. We wanted people to feel confident. We wanted them to feel comfortable and relaxed, because we wanted to get people out of their houses, away from feeling isolated. Hearing people have events going on every day, whereas for deaf people, it's kind of a bit more hit and miss, a bit more random. So as you can see from those pictures, people loved it. And in terms of health and well-being, it was great.
It was amazing, honestly. I'm so emotional thinking about it.
Okay. So you've got all those people there, and what are they doing in the town hall? What's on the agenda? Oh, well, we had this fantastic person, Stephen, who you saw in the photographs there with the hat on. And Stephen is a deaf mime artist, a fantastic deaf mime artist. And we chose Stephen to be the MC. He's an actor, he's very cheery and smiley. He was really good at, supporting people. And he supported Lee as well with his performance. So, it was really great. The two of them really led it, and it was fantastic. It was really amazing last year.
And they came along as volunteers too, and they contributed their time, which was amazing.
They're all volunteers. That's amazing. So the audience were watching sort of entertainment, comedy. Was there bingo or anything like that? Yep, there was bingo. This weekend, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Last weekend, we had bingo in the evening, but the problem was that kind of went on a little bit too long with everyone chatting too much. So we're changing that now. We're having that on Saturday and Sunday, and the bingo is going to be 3:30, which means that, around about 7:45, we can start with some more kind of performances, games and those kinds of things. So yeah, presentations, Great. Okay. So is everything free, or do you pay? How does that work? Right. So last year, everything was free. This time, you have to pay £5 per person, because we've created a bit more of an entertainment roster for you. So there's quite a lot of things going on. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You have to come along and have a look. Stephen has been arranging things. So watch this space. Come along and pay your £5 and watch this space. Okay, so you're back in the town hall again. You're doing that in the evening, and in the daytime, in the evening you have entertainment. In the daytime, what do you have, stalls or something? Or yeah, we reached out to deaf people. There are a lot of creative deaf people out there making jewelry, making cards, making all kinds of things. And what was nice was, it encouraged people to come out and sell their things and promote themselves. and promote their creativity. Last year we had a lot of nervous people, and then after the weekend they realized they felt much more confident in their art practice and were happy to do it again next year. And that made me feel really good, because I think it's really important to encourage our community to make things, to sell the goods that they make. And a lot of the stuff was really beautiful. So bring cash is what I'd say. There's a lot to buy.
Yeah, but we don't know how much it's all going to cost.
Okay, so going back to talking about, is it Stephen and Lee?
Mm-hmm.
We've got some more photographs for you, folks. Wow.
Oh, they
Okay,
were
so
brilliant.
yeah.
The humor was incredible. And, you know, they were able to make us all feel small at times because the way they did it was so funny.
Yeah, I don't know how he did it, Stephen. He was absolutely amazing. He was really good. And this weekend, we have, it's very special for Stephen the Deaf Mime, because it's his 5th year anniversary of being a deaf mime. Oh, well done to Stephen. That's fantastic. Congratulations, Stephen. And do people come voluntarily and do these performances in order to support that and promote the activity? Yeah, absolutely. Just come along, get involved. Okay, so you've got the town hall, you've got stalls, you've got people selling their wares, becoming more confident in their creativity. People are coming along to chat. And I want to ask you, Paul, is it the town hall? Is that everything, or are there things going on outside of the town hall as well?
Okay. My whole area was to get people involved in activities and encouraging them to do all sorts of different types of activities. And I think for a lot of people, because it was deaf-led, deaf people volunteered to run walking groups up in the mountains. Some people walked on a flat terrain. Some people played bowls. Others played darts. And we just encouraged people to take that on themselves. And they did. They took it on themselves. Different people led. Then other people got involved in that. I had a motorbike group, of course, as you can imagine. We went out, and then Juli had the stalls. I had my motorbike group, and we went out in the back because that's very much my hobby. And that gave scope for people to do that. Some people played golf, they went sailing, they did all sorts of things because they were able to indulge their own hobbies in groups. And then we all got back together and chatted about it across the community. We talked about what had happened in our activities, what we'd done. And that was what our dream had been, was to get the community together talking about. Then other people were drawn in by the conversations, and then they started to think about themselves getting involved in those activities. So it worked so well.
Okay, so let me take you back. You've got a number of activities. You've got the motorbike group going off on a motorbike tour. Yeah. You've got bowling, you mentioned there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very much so. And we also had people who volunteered to train others.
It was Morris, wasn't it? That person, Morris.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you say golf as well?
And then Paul Smith took on the golf, encouraged people to come and took that on.
Walking.
And that was David. And David led a group hill walking.
And SUPs as well, stops. Yeah.
Yeah. Paddle boarding, and we had people doing all sorts of things. Susan did some of that too.
Excellent. And also you had a tour, I believe. Oh, swimming? Did you say swimming as well?
We had swimming. That was Avril. Not you, Avril.
Not me. Avril. No, that wasn't me.
The other Avril, not you.
Okay, so Avril led the swimming. But also you had a tour, is that right? A tour of Moffat itself. A guided tour?
Yeah, Fiona did that. Fiona is a history expert, and she talked about that. She spent all her life there, so she gave us the whole history of the place.
Okay, so let's have a look at some photos of these different activities.
Again,
Wow.
so
It
many
looks like a
memories.
lot going on.
It was
It
just
looks like great
incredible.
fun.
You can see how happy everybody looks because we just enjoyed it so much.
And it encourages well-being. Absolutely. And so we've seen those photos of the groups, the motorcyclists going off. Are you going on like for an hour or and then meeting back again? Or
We organised it in a really flexible way. There were no rules about what you had to do. We just went out for a gentle ride, took photographs when we were out and about across the countryside, called in for a cuppa here and there, talked about what we could see, some of the birds, some of the birds of prey up in the sky, doing all that, Saturday and then the Sunday. And then the aim was really just to motivate other people to get involved.
Julie, anything you want to add there in terms of activities? Well, we just gave people meeting times. So meet on this at this place here to do this. Book your place on Facebook. So it's all on Facebook, the information about the weekend, and you just book it on there. Okay, so let's have a look at some more photos, shall we? Tell us more about what's happening here. Okay, so the person that you saw is Fiona, and she's a history tour guide. She's a deaf woman, and honestly, it was absolutely amazing because another woman said to me that she had grown up just outside Moffat. She lived there all her life and didn't know half of what Fiona had told her on the tour. So she'd found it really exciting. So, as Fiona kind of went round and told her about everything that was around her in Moffat, she couldn't believe it because she'd never had access to this information before. So that was really moving. And I thought really important that we know the places around that surround us. And it was really just thanks to Fiona. Also, having that information in BSL means it's so accessible for deaf people, right? They can actually take that information on board. So it's fun, but it's also educational, isn't it? That lady is learning about her village, the place where she grew up. And you've mentioned so many of these different outdoor activities. Are these all led by volunteers? It's all voluntary?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
all voluntary. Yeah. Okay, so they just plan these activities themselves. You've got to be pretty confident in leading an activity to volunteer for that. Oh, good for them. Yeah, and it encourages people to be confident because then they're leading a group. It was Paul's idea.
I want there to be another generation coming after me in running this Motorcycle Scotland group that we have. And it's the same across all these activities, golfing, everything else. This is about volunteers coming together, taking on the activities, letting others see what we're doing, and hopefully motivating others to join in. It was great fun.
That's terrific. So there's a lot of fun and lots of things going on. And we've got some more photos of something extremely important, the food.
That's Gary. What's he like?
Oh, look at him with his beard. He was messing with his beard.
Yeah, that's
I
Gary.
see, that's what he's doing.
And Gary was a real
He's
wind-up
from Northern
merchant.
Ireland.
Oh, he just made everyone laugh. He's a biker as well. Yeah, a three-wheeled bike. And essentially, he looked like Batman. Looked like a Batmobile
Batman.
when he was out and
Excellent.
about with the big long beard. Gary's a great guy.
Terrific. So that meal, do you have to book a place for the meal or do you just turn up? How does that work?
Yeah, I organised that. And it was in the hotel area. We went into the restaurant in the hotel. And then we organised that. We had a lot of photographs taken. Some people stayed in the hotel. There were other venues that we went to as well and we used. There was the Star Hotel, the Black Bull. There were other places where different groups, different people had their friends, and we ate until we were full, and we chatted non-stop the whole way through. Just a bunch of friends hanging out together.
So people just basically made their own plans for the evening meals.
Yeah, they did. And the whole thing was about chatting together, and we could see we weren't all in the same group, but just seeing other groups chatting in BSL was beautiful too.
And so can I ask what the village thinks about this? You know, you said the idea came from hearing people go by in the street, but now the hearing people are watching deaf people go by signing. How do the villagers feel about that? Do they, are they supportive? Are you educating them, or how do they feel?
In advance, Julie and I had gone around the local businesses and given them alphabet cards, given them some information around BSL. So we had gone around the local area doing that in advance, letting people know that we were deaf, a bunch of deaf people were coming in, and basically how to navigate basically the basics of communication.
So you prepared them?
On the 13th, I went out and did some training as well for local businesses too. And we just, I mean, it's very basic, very simple, like hello, goodbye, thank you, please, all that. But I've done that as well. It's not a full sign language class. Basic awareness for people, if people are lip reading them, what to do, all that kind of thing. And we made it fun so that the villagers would want to engage with us.
So as Paul said last year, you know, we went to, you know, the hotels, we went to the managers of the hotels, we talked to them, you know, we told them our plans. We said there's going to be a lot of deaf people coming, you know, do you think the village will be okay with that? And they said, sure. You know, they want business, so it brings in business for them, you know, it brings in trade for them. And I think they had talked with their local council and they let us know that we could go ahead. And so we did. Well, I suppose you are supporting the community, you know, economy in a tiny village like that, aren't you? And as you go back again, then they get more and more aware and less nervous about having so many deaf people around. And that's really important, isn't it?
We had a woman there who was deaf. Her husband was with her. He's not deaf. And he came not signing at all. And when he spent time with us, he started saying, hang on a wee second, I'm learning to sign now. It's really important. I've realized being here that signing is really important. He's coming back this weekend, and I'm going to see how well he's got on with the sign language in the intervening period. But that's what's fun, you know, seeing a couple like that coming and realizing all these other deaf people around them could chat away and want to be part of it was just brilliant.
And also we're going to the, you know, the village shop, the village cafe, the pub. We've also said to them, look, if there are any problems, please let us know. We've given them our contact details, and you know, we'll resolve any issues that come up. And everything's gone so smoothly and perfectly. I mean, fingers crossed as I say that, but yeah.
It really was. It was an amazing experience.
Okay, well, we've got some questions coming in from our viewers this evening. Let's have a look. Let's take the question from Sally Work. Sally asks, are there any activities for kids on Saturday? Any children's activities? Well, that's why we've taken over the town hall. That's a place where children can gather. There's lots of things going on there. But I'm not so sure about whether the outdoor activities would be accessible. There is a park there, and there are some rowing boats. There's a pond.
And there's the ducks that you can go on, you paddle ducks, on the pond.
Yeah, so there are things that you can do. I don't know how old the children are, but they could learn about paddleboarding perhaps if they're old enough. They could go on some of the walking activities if they're accompanied by an adult, perhaps.
And also there's the Dumfries. Just before that, there's a soft play area which nearby. And then there's a wild animals enclosure in round there as well. Take about 30 minutes to drive there, maybe 45, but that's all nearby. And they've got the best ice cream anywhere. I need to say that.
There's ice cream.
There's a local
Oh,
ice cream
really?
factory, and they make their own, and it is beyond wonderful.
Oh, well, there you go, Sally. Hope that answered your question. Hope that gives you food for thought. We've got a comment here from Austin Tonar, who says, I come from Moffat. My mother lived there. Oh, how about that?
Sorry, I missed that. Could you say it again, Avril, please?
Yeah, Austin just commented that he's known Moffat all of his life because his mother lives there.
Yeah, we did have a really good conversation before. He grew up in that area, knows it really well. And his mum works in the museum in Moffat. And it was lovely because she can sign a bit too. So that really helped everybody.
And it is definitely worth going to the museum that Austin's mum works in. It might be worth going with Fiona, but it's definitely worth a trip. And Austin's a lovely man. It was really nice to meet him last year. And Fiona wants to add something about the park. Can we pick Fiona's comment? Fiona Stewart. There's a pump track in Moffat called Hope Johnson Park for children who like cycling. The park has problems with water levels, so boats might not be available. Oh, so Fiona is the person who was leading our BSL tour. Oh, I see. Okay. Hi, Fiona.
Hi there. Good to see you, Fiona. Thanks for watching.
Oh, that's wonderful. And now we have Shirley Helen Conway, who says, really can't wait to see everyone. Feeling so excited for this weekend. Shirley really enjoyed herself last year. We had such a nice time, such a laugh chatting with everyone. It'd be good to see you, Shirley. And I think her partner, Paul, I think, who led the bowling with Morris. And Paul was supporting Morris on the bowling activity, so that's great. I've got so many comments coming in saying, oh, so excited, can't wait, really looking forward to it. And we've got Lucinda Dunn, who says, I'm doing a Thermomix demo. Come and watch me. What on earth is Thermomix?
Oops. The Thermomix machine itself, the TM7, then does all the work for you in the machine. It's brilliant for anything. Making ice cream, as I've said earlier on, making curries, making bread. It can do so much.
Oh, it's going to be a demo.
Fabulous device. And I'm not going to say too much because Lucy's the expert. I'll leave it to her. So look forward to that.
Yes, come along to the stall on Saturday. Come and watch Lucinda's demonstration on Saturday. It's worth coming along, and then you'll know everything.
Honestly, it brings the flavors together, and it's really worthwhile.
And Lucinda's coming all the way from Northern Ireland, which is amazing.
Yeah. She's Irish, yeah. So we're really looking forward to having her there, and I've certainly got some questions for her because I love my food.
It's all about the ice cream for you, Paul, I think, isn't it? Morris wants to say something. Morris. I'm looking forward to first-time bowls in Moffat. Ah, Morris, hi. Yeah, Morris is very keen.
Yeah, all right.
Wow, so trying bowls for the first time, Morris. Good luck. Well done.
Look, Morris has been great sending out videos and encouraging people to be involved. And anybody who hasn't done it before has been really supportive. And it's been brilliant. Even just talking about the size of bowls that people should be using has had loads of information.
Encouraging people to take up a new hobby.
Yeah. And really approachable about it all, which is brilliant.
That's great. And Katrina's asking a very good question. What will the weather be like? Do you know?
Don't start talking about British weather. Don't do that.
Well, In all honesty, no, in all honesty,
Don't ask that question, really.
weather never hurts you. Doesn't matter what the weather's going to be. You could be sitting at home, or you could be getting out, learning something new and enjoying yourself, whatever the weather.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I go out on my bike, and no matter what the weather is, we go out. And even if it's too wet to go on the bikes, I'll be in the stalls chatting to everybody because I know there'll be loads of people there.
You've got plenty of options, haven't you? Excellent, yeah. And I think Jenny Connor said, I'm doing a stall selling handmade crafts. Please come and see it. Oh yeah, Jenny's stall last year. I spent money there.
Yeah, absolutely. Professional level goods, really fantastic. And that's what we're talking about here. People come, they sell once, they gain in confidence, and then they come back. And we've seen that with a lot of people coming back this year because they got so much confidence out of last year.
And there are so many more wonderful creative people with stalls that we could mention. And I think now we have another question from Shona Shuka. Shuka says they're looking forward to going there for the second time. They loved it. It's a nice village and they had a great meal too. Oh, there you go. That's good positive feedback. Thank you.
It was good.
Hi, Shuka. Hi. And then Brian says, looking forward to seeing you two and everyone and some new faces too.
Yeah.
Terrific. Looking forward to it too, Brian.
Brian, can't wait to see you.
Well, it looks like a lot of people are already packed and ready to go.
Loads of new faces come. People come, they make friends, they meet up with old friends. That's what this is about. It's about our community coming together.
That's terrific. And Debbie says also, I'm really looking forward to Moffat with Morris, playing bowls with Morris, and also meeting other deaf people. So it looks like everyone's heading to Moffat to meet other deaf people, to sign. So if you're feeling lonely, a little isolated this weekend, and you're in need of a bit of well-being, get yourself packed, get your clothes in a bag, and head off to Moffat.
Not too many clothes for me.
And I would say, Moffat is not a kind of, party town. It's very relaxed. There are a lot of older people there. It's very gentle. So don't bring your heels and your fancy gear. Bring flat shoes and comfortable clothing and be prepared to, maybe some WD-40 to keep your wrists moving. But apart from that, just be prepared to chat and relax. Okay. So those are good tips about clothes. Are there any other tips about what people should bring? What is it important? What should they be packing for this weekend?
Well, make sure you've got some money. Get cash. Have cash with you because we've stalls. And at the stalls, it's better to have cash available. Juli, I'll have some other suggestions.
Yeah, in terms of clothing, it doesn't matter about the weather. Be comfortable. Bring cash for the stalls. We don't always have card readers. But there is a cash machine in the village itself, just across the road from the town hall.
Yeah, at the co-op.
And there's also a petrol station. There's a little cash machine at the petrol station as well. But do wear things that are comfortable. Think about the fact that you're going to be doing walking. You're going to be outdoors. We've got tickets for the Saturday and Sunday evening performances with Stephen. You can get your tickets by coming to see me on the stall on Saturday, 23rd of May, from 10 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock. So grab a ticket while you can, because we're limited to 100 people in the hall in the evenings. So the first 100.
Health and safety.
And it's £5 each, cash. But I need to let you know that, if you're going home on Sunday, then come to the Saturday night performance if you plan to go home on Sunday. Because the Saturday night performance and the Sunday night performance will be the same. It's a repeat performance. So if you're not going to be there on the Sunday evening, leave that for the people who are only coming on the Sunday. So me and Susan from Scotland, who does the paddle boarding, we will be on the store selling the tickets. Also bingo. We'll be selling the cards for bingo from 10 till 2. So come along early, grab your tickets for the evening and for the bingo, and then you'll be done.
For fish and chips as well, it is cash in there. And in the Chinese shop, they also want cash. A lot of the businesses there don't use cards. A lot of them prefer cash. So just come ready with cash. That's one important message.
So better to have a cash and a card with you. Take both. Yeah.
Because last year we had people go in, try and get fish and chips, but they only take cash. So just be ready for that.
Oh, and one thing to add, we have a very special Avril, who is deaf, who will be doing a walk from John O'Groats all the way down to Land's End. That started the 1st of May. And Chris is supporting her, feeding her, doing the camping and all that sort of thing en route. So Avril is lovely and will be the first deaf woman doing a solo walk from John O'Groats to Land's End. And that's in support of Sign Health and various other charities. So she was expecting to go to Glasgow on Saturday 23rd, has cancelled that. And we've managed to persuade her to come over to Moffat. We explained what was going on there. She said, well, that is perfect timing because that is about when I will be arriving in Moffat. So she'll be passing through Moffat this very weekend and we can all lend our support.
We need to do that.
Fantastic. So they can meet Avril as well. And Avril gets a warm welcome when she arrives in Moffat because everyone there will be signing. Fantastic. And we want to make her feel confident. We want to boost her. We want to really show our support for that long walk. And Avril said she's really looking forward to chatting with everybody when she gets to Moffat. Terrific.
Certainly Sunday there, I was up with my family and I was walking one direction. She came the other direction. And there's another, my sister-in-law and partner, they have a charity that they're supporting, and I'd spoken to them about what Avril was doing and passed her, and they didn't have the confidence to say hello, but I've said to Avril, you did pass those other people and they're connected to me. They're my family members.
Oh, well, isn't it?
It's really nice to do that. Avril's a really fantastic woman. We had a great chat with her, and she's doing this solo. And doing that solo without any kind of contact with other people for such a long time, I can't imagine. But I don't want to give her story. So please do, when you're there, come and find out what she's got to say. It's a really tough journey.
And isn't that perfect timing? So you've got loads of things going on this weekend. You've got the activities, you've got Avril passing through on her walk, you've got all these people who are already signed up and interested. I think we do have another question coming in from Katrina Kilpatrick. She said, yes, we were there last year. I was really nervous, but after that, I felt so confident that I decided we're going to do it again this year and really excited and looking forward to you both soon. Yeah, I had a Facebook, a video call with her and she was very nervous and quite shy and reluctant, and we managed to persuade her to come along. And then at the end, she came and gave me a big hug and said it had given her so much confidence. So that was great to see.
Totally.
Okay, and we've got Zan Brass, who said, what are the plans for Friday afternoon and Friday evening? What's going on then?
Well, the plan is people will be arriving, chatting, saying hello, getting to know the area. Friday night's very informal. And it's just an opportunity for people to get together, go into the cafes, catch up with each other, meet each other, chat.
Yeah, this is a kind of, it's not a private weekend, it's not a members only weekend, it's just an open weekend. So you just come along. And don't forget, it's a really small village, so you'll easily see any other deaf people who are there. So if you just arrive on Friday, that's what you'll do.
Mhm.
Okay, it sounds good. That sounds really positive. Honestly, the comments are flying up here on my screen. There's so many coming up. They all look very positive. Okay, let me just check if I have anything that I want to ask you. Are you in need of any more volunteers, any more support, or have you got plenty? We've got some wonderful volunteers who have offered to help with the Saturday and with the bingo. It would be nice to have a few more volunteers. And if you're interested, please let me know. That would be really nice. So you would see me there on the Friday. Just tap me on the shoulder or message me on Facebook. Let me know if you're keen to volunteer. So you have a Facebook group, I'm assuming. So more information is posted on your Facebook page and everything's there, I'm expecting. So anybody who is making a last minute decision could just have a look at your Facebook page, which is Moffat BSL Weekend, and the information will be there. Oh, great. Love the mug. That's terrific. And this was somebody from London who never misses one of our activities. And look, they gave us this. Aren't they beautiful? One each.
It was a lovely surprise to get presented with them.
They were going to bring them on Friday.
That was on the Friday, wasn't it? Or Thursday? Thursday, maybe?
So you'll be bringing those with you. You'll be sitting drinking from your mugs.
Obviously, in the motorhome, there'll be plenty of coffee being consumed. So we'll do that. And we'd forgotten before, but we'll get them in the motorhome and have them with us.
And that's lovely, isn't it? Because every time you drink from them, you'll have really good memories. Like, oh, last year we got those mugs, and that's a really good memento of that first weekend.
Honestly, the first weekend was just so amazing. We got to meet so many new people who became friends. We met up with people we'd already known that we had friendships with. We spent so much
time. I cried, I laughed.
And laughing too. And the laughter was brilliant. It was a really positive environment. There was no criticism, no nastiness. Everybody just laughed, chatted, morning, afternoon, evening. And we all made friends. And that was the best part.
Yeah, and then after the weekend was over and we went home, the Monday, I was absolutely worn out. Honestly, I was spark out. I was smiling in my sleep.
I think the muscles in our face were worn out, though.
And then afterwards, there were so many comments coming in and so much feedback on Facebook that it just made me cry. I was really emotional. It was the most amazing feedback. Last year was terrific. So yeah, hopefully. It's such an important thing for the deaf community, for our well-being, to get together, to chat with each other. So looking forward to seeing you at the weekend. So Julie, you just mentioned there, in the town hall, you're looking out across all those people and everyone's smiling. I mean, that must be quite an emotional thing for you. Yeah, it was quite overwhelming, actually, in a good way. I mean, that's what we had been planning for. That's what we'd wanted. So, yeah.
It really was. That's true.
And, you mentioned that you felt worn out afterwards, but presumably you felt good. It must have felt worthwhile, right?
I think what we kept getting at the end was, can we do it again? Everybody just kept saying when it was over, let's do it again, because people just really, and you've got the comments, everybody's really looking forward to it.
Okay, so the last thing then to say is I want to ask you about that community. Everybody came, that it had a great impact on everyone. But what about the hearing people around you? Are they looking forward to welcoming you again, or do you think they were a bit sort of?
There's a place called the Green Frog. Okay, the Green Frog.
It's a campsite. Avril.
It's where there's a campsite, there's caravans, and there's fishing place there. And a lot of people stayed there and everybody enjoyed it. And they actually said to me they participated as well. They started to get involved because they saw it such a positive, pleasant environment to be in. And there's a man who's there called Gordon, and he is a big heavy beard and he's quite a dour man. And he said, "Oh, your sign language is fabulous. I loved using that. I love seeing it. I love being part of it." We're getting so much positive feedback.
Yeah, and I think all around the town, the Moffat, the village of Moffat, people were saying to me, "Oh, sign language. Oh, okay." And it made people realize that actually they might want to learn sign language in order to communicate. And we went back again afterwards, after the event, just to check that everybody had felt okay. And they said, "Oh, yeah. The bingo, though, which took place in the town hall, we had to explain that the bingo was different from hearing bingo, because from the stage you can see all the heads going down and up for the bingo caller, and they were really interested in seeing that, because they hadn't, that's not something that you see at hearing bingo, this kind of coordinated head movement from the audience. And the hotel that Paul and the motorbike guy stayed at is next door to a pub. And of course, they were all in there signing away and chatting away. And you know what deaf people are like, time and the bell for last orders, and 11 o'clock or whatever that is. Everybody was still chatting. They were trying to get them all out. And the staff realized, oh, okay, they're going to have to try and use some different gestures to get people out. And eventually Paul was pushing people out the door, quite literally. So the staff, I think, had a bit of a training in deaf culture, and the fact that, that long, slow goodbye that we're famous for. Oh, yeah, you've got to put the lights up, haven't you? You've got to put the lights up, lovely. But people were so keen to just chat. It was lovely. Yeah, I think deaf people grab an opportunity to chat in sign language whenever they can, don't they? So you mentioned the capacity on the Saturday evening. Is it of 100 in the town hall? Is that the same in the daytime? No, because the doors are open and you don't pay anything in the daytime. The stalls in the town hall are free. So because people can pass in and out of the doors, there's no limit to the numbers.
Yeah, people
but for the bingo and for the entertainment, there is.
People are going on to other activities, so they're not going to hang around the town hall all the time because there's so much going on outside.
So when the bingo starts at 3:30, though, we close the doors so that people can focus. So there's a limit to the numbers once we've got the doors closed. Well, wow, guys, we've been talking for an hour already. I mean, your plans for this year are pretty clear, and clearly some people are going to be coming. Are you already planning at third next year?
Our lips are sealed.
Well, we'll let you know after this weekend. Well, I'm certainly, I'd be very happy to announce anything more after this weekend. It's embargoed.
Well, let's wait and see what we think of this weekend coming. And if it goes well, if the community all enjoy it, we'll know we're on to something, and hopefully that will happen. And then we'll see.
Well, that's terrific. Any last words? Any last thing that you want to say to the deaf community, to the folks watching us? You want to welcome people along or say anything?
What I want to say is everyone is welcome. Genuinely, everyone is welcome. Doesn't matter who you are, whether you're deaf or not. If you've got usher, if you're in a wheelchair, come and be with us. You're really welcome. This is a sign language weekend. If you're using sign language, you're really welcome to be part of it and see our visual world. Join in, participate, enjoy the fun. You'll have a great time.
Yeah, and I say Town Hall is disability accessible. There is a wheelchair accessible door at the side of the Town Hall. If you've got any issues, come and let me know. But yeah, come and join in. You'll love it.
And if you have any queries, go and see Juli at the stall and get any information. If you're I've got usher and you need to sit in the front row, we've got all that planned. So just come and let Julie and the team know, and we'll get you seats at the front so that everybody's involved and everybody can enjoy it.
Well, that's fantastic, folks. I really want to thank you both for coming this evening and giving us all of that information, sharing your enthusiasm, your project, your vision, the warmth that has been behind setting up this event. And honestly, there are so many people coming into the comments here who are very, very excited about coming along. So thank you both for sharing that information this evening. And good luck for this weekend. I hope you both enjoy it. I'll see you there.
And thank you for everybody who's been watching and for all the comments you've put in. We really appreciate all of you. Thank you for it.
Thank you, folks. Good night. Have a great weekend.